Welcome to the Motivational Medium podcast. I'm Anne-Marie Lord, a psychic medium, author, and the founder of the Motivational Medium Academy. On this podcast, we'll explore intriguing topics such as mediumship, psychic abilities, and the amazing idea that we all have intuition within us. Whether you're a believer, skeptic, or somewhere in between, get ready to unlock your extraordinary potential as we discover the supernatural world together. If you want your questions featured on the show, be sure to join my tribe by subscribing to my newsletter at annemarielord.com. Let's go. Hello, my friend. Welcome to today's podcast. I want to share something with you first before we get into today's podcast and what it's all going to be about. Last month's podcast, I sat with Spirit and I brought through some lovely, beautiful messages. I didn't know where they were going or who they were going to. I just had this overwhelming feeling that they were going to the people who needed them. Oh, wow. What a response I had back from the people that listened to the podcast. Some of them could take little bits of the messages, but I had for each individual and each spirit that I brought through, I had massive validation of them messages landed exactly where they were supposed to be. Now, listen, if you're listening to this and you think, oh, I thought that message was for me, it absolutely was. You take, and like I said during the last podcast, you take from it what you need, because Spirit have an amazing way of not only going to one person, but other people who are listening to their messages can take something from it too. This also happens at live events. I see that so much when I do a live event and people talk to me or they send me emails or even contact me on social media and they let me know that I actually got so much from that reading that you gave to that lady or to that man. It sounded like my dad or it sounded like my mum. You know, you get the messages embedded within other people's messages too. One of the messages that I read, because I want to get started on today's podcast and I'm going to do some angel card readings, but one of the messages that I read out was about a man who passed away and how his daughters looked after him and his wife, and he gave a T sounding name and all his daughters were names began with a T, and his wife's name, and it was he had a nickname for her and that was spot on as well. And he even mentioned Charlie the dog. The stuff and the validation that was given within that reading brought so much love and peace to the person and this lovely lady who received that, and all the others landed as well. So I just wanted to let you know about that in case you were wondering and you hadn't contacted me, or you had contacted me and I didn't have a chance to get back to you because, as I say, there was so many messages from last month's podcast. It was like overwhelming. And if you haven't actually listened to last month's podcast and you're listening to this one, then go and jump on it and have a little listen. You won't be disappointed. It's amazing. It blew my mind. And I absolutely will be sitting with Spirit again and doing that again. Now, today I did a meditation and I wanted to do some angel cards. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. But before I start the questions that I've been asked and have been sent to me through email, I wanted to say to you, if you have a question that you want to ask me and you want to ask it and to have it read out on the podcast, then please send me an email to annemarie@annemarielord.com and put in the heading that it's question for the podcast so that Taylor can make sure that we know what emails we need to look through for the questions. So it's annemarie@annemarielord.com and your regarding is about questions for the podcast. Okay, so let's get on with the questions that we've got today. Now, even though this is specific questions, I think that this can be for anybody. And also, this might be something that you're going through in your life. and you may be able to take something away from this. Now, I always say to people, you are the steerer of your own ship. You are the captain of your own ship. You have free choice and you have free will, always. No matter who you go and see for a reading, you always have free will and free choice. So say I see something coming up for you during a reading, and it could be a new job, and that new job might be coming up in April or May. And then that time comes and you get to that time and the job comes up and you think, okay, this is the job Anne-Marie was talking about in our reading, but I don't actually think I want to go for this job just yet. Then please know nothing bad will happen. As I say, you are the captain of your own ship and you are the guider of your own guidance. You have free will. So when you decide, no, I don't want to go for this job, please know nothing bad is going to happen. You just may get the opportunity later on down the track. Okay, so always know that I will never tell you what to do with your life. The choice is always yours. All right, and I want to remind you that as I go into these questions. Okay, so I got this question. I'm not going to give no names out. So if you've sent these questions in, you'll know that they're for you. So I got this question from this lady and she totally wants to change her career. Totally wants to change her career. And I sat with this for a little while because when I was nursing, now for all you nurses that are listening to this, sometimes nursing can be a really hard job and we can become so overwhelmed in that situation and that career that we think, that's it, I've had enough, I never want to nurse again and I want to go and do something totally different. And I always laugh and say, okay, so we go from nursing and we go to be a bricklayer. Why would you leave aside all the knowledge and the knowing and the experiences that you've had over the years to go and do something totally different? So do I think you can change your career for a total different change? Yeah, as such. However, make sure it's something that you can take your knowledge and your experiences to the new job. So say like myself, I was a nurse for over 30 years and I worked a long time in palliative care. And what I do today in mediumship and in writing my books and in doing my teaching and my live events, I bring that nurse, that compassion, that empathy, that caring nature to every one of my sessions, no matter what it is, whether it's teaching, nursing, live events, retreats, it doesn't matter. I bring me and my experience as over 30 years as a nurse to them situations. So don't leave all your experience and knowledge behind. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you're totally changing your career, now you never told me what it was, so to go from one career to another. But what I picked up is that the knowledge and the experiences from the career that you're in at the moment will have to absolutely support the new career. Do not go and try something so far out of your comfort zone, so like nursing to bricklaying, that none of that experience can translate over. So keep in mind, you can change your career. It can even be a total change. Like at the end of my nursing career, I was teaching. You know, I taught a lot of the stuff of what I'd learned over the years, but it was a totally different transition. I was now a lecturer rather than a nurse. So take your knowledge, take the knowing and transfer it over to the new career. I hope that made sense. So shall you change your career? Yeah, but just not from a nurse to a bricklayer. It's too far of a transition and it's such a waste on this beautiful journey we call life to not take them experiences over into the new career or new job, if you like, or even new business that you want to create. Don't leave it behind, take it with you. Okay, so that was that question. And the next one I had was, I want to have a baby, but not sure we will cope or I'll be a good mum. Okay, now if you're all female or even some male sitting there, male or female, put your hand up if you thought, and it crossed your mind, oh my God, am I going to be a good parent? Absolutely. Every single one of us has this fear. It comes along, even if it only lasts for a few seconds. Sometimes we think that before we even fall pregnant and right throughout the pregnancy. Sometimes we only have it as a fleeting glimpse of fear, but absolutely every single one of us has that fear. So I'm not saying it's an irrational fear. It's not. It's truly validated because we want to be the best at what we do. But when we have our kids, we go into something that we have never experienced. We may have seen our mums or our dads do it, and that may have been a good experience or not a good experience. It all depends how you grew up, But we learn from all of our experiences. We learn from our aunties, from our uncles, from our cousins, from our friends, from our mums, from our dads. We learn from everybody. And then we think, oh my, now I'm turning up as me, and am I going to get this right? So please don't let that stop you from bringing a beautiful little being into the world. We all have that fear. And I just wanted to get my cards out because I wanted to have a little look and see. Oh, there's the strength card. So should you have the child, or will you be capable to do this journey? Absolutely. And the other card said it may be in the near future. So it's not going to be too far away. Okay. And I would say within the next 3 to 6 months. All right. So yeah, know that. Now, there's also a little bit of self-care that needs to be done before you fall pregnant as well. So, make sure you're looking after your health. If you can take folic acid, there's a gene called the MTHFR gene. People who have that gene don't metabolize folic acid as well. Now, this is something that a lot of us don't know about. So if the folic acid makes you feel a little bit sick, then maybe speak to your healthcare practitioner. But it's just talking about looking after yourself. So it's getting ready to fall pregnant and have this beautiful child or children, if there's twins in the family. There you go. So once again, I want to say to you, the choice is yours, but do I think your fear is rational? Absolutely. We all have that fear. And then we all do it. And then we all just hope for the best and try our best. And that's all we can do. All right. So good luck and little congratulations on there. So now for the next question. How do I protect my energy? Oh, this is really interesting. I have just been working on a new course and it's called Protect Your Energy, Protect Your Peace. Now it'll be out on the 1st of August. And it's not an online course like you think. You will get a workbook, you will get a guided meditation, you get 3. And you'll also get a downloadable Shit to Shine gratitude journal. And what we do is we get together on a Zoom call. On the 1st of August is the first one. And we'll get together on a Zoom call and I'll go through how to protect your energy, how to raise your vibration so that you're not susceptible to becoming down or letting things get on top of you. So I'll teach you a lot of information in there. People talk about when we do the work that I do, for instance, how do I constantly protect my energy? Am I walking around carrying 15 million crystals? Do I smudge within an inch of my life? Well, a lot of the time I do a lot of that. However, what I find and what I found work for me, and I talk about it in the Grateful 3 Approach to Life book, is raising your own vibration. Because a lot of the time, there's situations that we will come into that we can't get out of. And we need to be at our best level of energy, if you like, to navigate these waters. So that's what I want to teach. I want to teach people how to raise the vibration, protect their energy. We will go into like crystals and smudging and all the grounding and the basic stuff that a lot of people know. But I'll also be teaching you a lot of stuff you don't know on how to protect your energy, maybe in the work environment, maybe around loved ones. And that takes me on to the next question. And also maybe around situations that you know are going to come up and how to protect your energy and raise your vibration so they don't hit as hard as what they may hit. Because life happens to every single one of us. We can't change that. And a lot of the time, the things we worry about don't never happen. And the things we don't worry about happen out the blue. So how can we be prepared for life and the unseen situations, really, is we can keep our energy levels high so that we can deal with them when they come. So if you want to join me on that, I'll put the link in the show notes. And it's on my website as well. So it's amarilord.com. If you want to sign up for that, it's Saturday, the 1st of August, and it's at 10:30 a.m. in the morning. And you'll be sent all your information before that. Oh, and by the way, there's 20 early bird places there as well. So the early bird places are only $49, and then it goes up to $69. So yeah, jump on if you want to come along, if you're thinking about protecting your energy within the workforce, around certain people, in certain situations, and you want some information on how to do that and how to do it going forward for the rest of your life, then come along and I'll see you on the 1st of August. All right, let's get back to this question because this question prompted me to talk about that. This question is, how do I protect my energy when I'm around a negative family member? Wow. Now, I know a lot of people, when they come to see me for readings, a lot of people ask this question as well, because it's like, well, I can't get rid of me mum, or I can't get rid of me auntie, or I can't get rid of me cousin, or one of me children even, or even me husband or me wife. So how do we get to this situation? How do we protect our energy? I'm a big believer that, as I talked to you before, is about raising your own vibration, because we become like the person we spend a lot of time with. And if you raise your vibration or your energy vibration, then we can't be lowered to a certain standard, if that makes sense. They won't get under our skin as much as they do if we work on ourselves. We cannot change other people. As much as we'd love to change other people's energies, we can't. I remember going to see Tony Robbins, and he spoke about this. It was 2018. And this hit hard to me because it was like, I felt like I was giving my control to everybody else. But if I do that, then I better hope that everybody else has a good day. And what I mean by that is, if you're waiting for your mum, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, one of your kids to change, then they may never change, especially if they're not doing any of the work. And you can't make anyone do the work, because think about it. If you've already done the work as such, did anyone make you want to do it? No, that had to come from yourself. It had to come from within. So can you change anybody's energies around you? No, not directly, but you can indirectly. And I've seen this so many times. When you work on yourself, the people who are around you and who spend the most time within your energy, their energies change via default. When you work on you, they change. Honestly, it's an absolute mind-blowing experience when you work and raise your own vibration to a degree. I'm not saying being happy all the time. I'm saying being able to navigate life. And when you do that for yourself, the people around you will respond to who you are and respond to how you behave. Think of it in a negative way then, if you like. Does your energy change when you're around negative people? Do you feel negative? Do you feel drained? How is that? Have they told you to feel negative? Have they told you to feel drained? No, you've been around their energy. So, my friend, this is the golden ticket, because if that can work in that direction, then it can absolutely work in the reverse. So all you have control of is you. Work on you, work on your vibration, work on your energy, and you watch how people change. But just a little tip, in the meantime, while they're changing and they're trying to learn how to become unconsciously like you, what you can do is what I used to do when I was in work. I used to go to see some of my clients and go into their house. And sometimes when I was working in palliative, it could be quite a heavy situation, obviously. So what I used to do is I used to sit in my car and I used to surround myself in beautiful white light. And I'd ask to be surrounded in peace and in harmony. And I would also carry a black tourmaline. So there's a quick little tip to do now to protect your energy when you're going to see these people and in these situations. However, the best way to help them raise their vibration is to raise yours. Okay? I hope that answered your question. I've loved having this little chat with you today. As I always say, if you're subscribed to the podcast, or if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to the podcast. Share it with your friends. And I also have a beautiful online community on my newsletter where I am going to start doing even more of this. I will be giving lots of freebies away on there. I will be jumping on there doing live Zoom teachings for free. You will be the first to know what's going on in our live community and what I'm up to. And yeah, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to the newsletter and you get free little gift in there as well for just subscribing. So it's AnneMarieLord.com. I have loved speaking to you today. And if you want to join me on the 1st of August, go to AnneMarieLord.com and sign up, and I will see you there. Have a great day, my friend, and take care. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this show. It's important to note that while I'm here to inspire, encourage and guide you, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist or a doctor. Join me again in 2 weeks for more captivating revelations on the supernatural. Remember to be in with a chance to have your questions answered on the podcast. Subscribe to my newsletter at AnneMarieLord.com. Stay in the tribe to vibe. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.